Hello folks, it's Rich here. For those who don't know me, my name is Rich. I like guitars. I've had 115 of them. Can I play guitar? Not really. A little bit, not a lot. Novice. But guitars are pretty, aren't they? So you buy them, you have a little play with them, you pass on your experience of them, and you get something else. And so today, this is the very latest Harley Benton ST-62. And it's the 2022 model. So it's one with a caramelized neck, which is pretty. We like this. It's also got a change of neck radius. It's 12-inch radius. This once, if you're a beginner and looking at this and thinking should I have this or a squire, it just relates to how flat the neck is. Squires are typically 9.5 radius. Just means if your finger is this kind of shaped, whoop, goes around the fret a bit more easily. If it's a flatter finger radius, you gotta have your finger a bit flatter to play certain chords, but not a big deal. 12-inch, most Les Pauls are 12. But anyway, so yes, there's that. It's this, it's called vintage white, but actually it's very much like buttercream, the Fender buttercream colour. This one's yellowy. I like it. I had a Squire Bullet some time ago that had aged this colour all by itself. Here's the back of it, little teeny tiny block. I've actually got the trem. It's come with it locked down, which is no bad thing, really, because it probably won't stay in tune. Although that said, Elmo, J. Cadley-Adlarden, who on YouTube, he reviewed one of these in a different colour and gave the trem arm some grief, and it stayed in tune miraculously. So, well, what else can I tell you about this? It's a C-shaped, seaside, seaside, so a C-shaped neck, and it's not too chunky and it's not too thin. It's about right. It's thinner than a Fender Mexican player. It's a bit chunkier than a Strat, than a Squire Bullet and a Squire Affinity. It feels just nice. The frets, are they sharp? They're not. There's a teeniest, tiniest bit of sprout. You know, yeah, you're not going to cut yourself, that's for sure. The frets, they actually look polished on this, which is unusual because usually these things come and they're a bit grotty and dirty and they feel a bit sharp and, well, yeah, a bit scratchy, but not these. These actually are polished and they're really nice. The Roswell pickups that come with it, got your blade switch, which feels perfectly okay to me. It's actually a better feeling and sounding instrument than the £107 English pounds would suggest. It is. It's really quite good. Now, I've had a lot of these. I've had several ST-62s, lots of other Strats. How many Strats have I had in total now? It's about 25 or 30, including Fenders and Squires. And this, for me, if I was going to spend the money, would on a nice Strat. And for those who have got Squire Classic vibes, and I've had one, I would rather have this. Now, they're quite different in so much as you've got a very heavily lacquered neck on the Squire Classic vibe. So if you like that shiny tint on it, and that's great. You're not going to have that on this, but it's sticky. It might look nice, but it's sticky and it's not that smooth to play. But in terms of everything else, like even the tuners on this, these are the kind of old school, you know, post where the string goes down the top, the vintagey style ones. They don't feel any worse than the last Squire that I had. I'm not saying they're brilliant, they weren't brilliant on the Squire. But yeah, £107 versus, well, they're a lot now, aren't they, the classic vibes, depending on what colour you have. £350 or 330, 330 to about 380. It's just not that much better of a guitar. You still get a small block in the back as well on the Squires. So yeah, that's the headstock's really important to you, the headstock shape. The Harley Benton headstock shape's not quite right, is it? It can't be because it could be a copy, but everything else feels good. It's got a 40mm thick body, which is the same as the Squires. They're not full size. It's really good. It's really good. So, is it in tune? The strings are new. Obviously, I've stretched them a little bit, but I'm just going to go through a few tones and have a little play with the tone knobs. One of the things that always gets me on cheaper guitars, well, not even just cheaper guitars, but guitars in general, is how ineffective the tone knob is. And it might not matter to you. You might just have the tone maxed out all the while and don't care. But I do care because I like to change it. So we'll turn the volume up. So on this amp, it's my Fender Mustang LT25 amp, and it's got all the settings at 12 o'clock. It's not on, you know, the clean channel, all of this, all of that channel. It's just in its raw state. which is why I've got the volume up a little bit. I've got the volume on the guitar. So we'll start with the volume on. That's another quick thing to say. Sorry, jumping the gun. As an acoustic sound, it rings out really nicely. Ring, ring, ring. You won't be able to hear that now, but it's still ringing, which I like. So we'll put the volume up a little bit. And that's on about number 3. On the neck pickup, that's on about 5. Just on about 8. And then 10. What you may have noticed there is from 0 to about 5, it's quiet, really subtle. You know, it does go up slowly, but then you suddenly get to about number 6 or 7, and you get a bit of a boost. It goes up a lot. So it's not it's not even, if you like. Not really a big deal. And the tone, which is attached to this neck pickup here, so that's with it all the way off. About number 3. About 5 or 6. 7 or 8. 10. Back down to about half. So you don't exactly get numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, all the way. It's a little bit off, a little bit on, a fair bit on and on. It's about, yeah, it's kind of got 4 stages, I suppose. So, I think it sounds lovely, I really do. This sounds more Stratty to me than the player Strat I had, and I don't know whether that's because the pickups in these are supposed to be kind of vintage voice. This is the vintage style Strat, and I just prefer it to the modern feel of the player Strat and the modern sounding pickups that thing has got. But this to me is more Strat. Next position, so these two together. And on the middle, of course, we've got the next tone knob, so let's take that all the way to the bottom and see what that one does. Dark and horrible. About number 3. Tiny crackle there as well. Tiny bit of crackle. Number 3. About 6. 8, 9, 10. So very much like the tone for the neck, it's, you know, they're a little bit top, middle and bottom, but at least they work, because it's not always the case on these kind of guitars. The next position, these chappies together. Ringy, ringy, ringy. Bridge. Now, the bridge on Strat's never been a massive fan. Really shrill and screechy and a bit grim. Actually, on this one, it doesn't sound as thin and tinny and naff as bridge pickups on a lot of Strats I had. I could actually see myself using the bridge pickup for once on a Strat. I've got calluses on my fingers that are sticking to the strings. So let's put it on to the clean channel on this amp. Going down. does all the right things a Strat should do. And the fact that it's a 12-inch radius neck, you don't really feel it. You still get your hand around up here, okay? You know, I haven't got particularly big hands, but I can still get my hand around. So we'll just put it on a slightly crunchy channel. Responds well actually to and roll the tone off a little bit. Back onto the bridge. Oh, that's a bit. The amp's right next to my ear. Loud. Let's find a nastily overdriven channel. Where's one of those? Is this one? So there we go. Just sorry, this is a bit of a long video. No one's interested in long videos. So my overall thoughts, having had a lot of Harley Bentons, 25, 26, 28 Harley Bentons, lots of different Strats. This is my 5th ST-62 and I'm glad I've gone back to it. £107, I just don't think you can beat it. It feels like more of a guitar than a Squire Bullet. Or the new Affinities are really good, to be fair to them. It's much better value than any of the Squires. The neck feels lovely. This one is finished okay. All the pickups do what they're supposed to do. The tone pots work as well as you can expect on a guitar of this price point. The tuners work fine. The nut's been cut okay. There's nothing not to like. This feels like a proper Strat, dare I say it. It really does. It's not too heavy either. I weighed it earlier. It's just about 3 kilos. So it's not gonna kill you. So it's like 6.5 pounds, something like that. Yes, there we go. Thanks for watching if you did. And yeah, if there's anyone else who's interested, please pass this on. And there are about 40 other amateur guitar reviews on this channel. Go check them out. Thanks.